So you guys know how I was doing an Epic the Musical stage adaptation? I'm finally back to explain Act 2 sets to you today. So I've already talked about the basic stage layout and Act 1 stages, so if you want to go watch those, you can on this page or on YouTube. Also, don't mind my dyed fingers, I just dyed my hair. Okay, quick overview of the basic stage. This back here is an LED screen, then we have a scrim, a trapdoor over a platform that's like 10 feet in the air, a turntable, stairs with lower platforms on the bottom section. So the beginning of Act 2 is Suffering with the Sirens. So we have the boat on stage with water at the front of the stage and on the top of the platform. This will be the same also for Different Beast. Then at the end of Different Beast, the water will leave and we're left with just the boat for the song Scylla. And then in the middle of the song, the turntable will actually rotate and the boat will move to this position. Then we'll stay here for the end of Scylla and Mutiny. Towards the end of Mutiny, we'll move to just a forward-facing boat again. Then we'll stick there for all of Thunderbringer. And then the boat will leave at the end of Thunderbringer. In Legendary, this is the first time we see Ithaca's palace. So I wanted to have lots of white, gray, marble columns everywhere. And this is basic for all of Ithaca. We will see them in all the scenes. Now for Legendary specifically, we do use the turntable to bring on a couple different set pieces. At the top of the song, we will have a bed along with 2 columns and fabric draped in between. During this song, this will be rotated off and the throne will be rotated on. There'll be people surrounding it and stuff. So this will stay for the rest of Legendary, and it will be moved off stage at the beginning of Little Wolf for the fight scene. So for the majority of Little Wolf and the entirety of We'll Be Fine is just the empty Ithaca stage. At the end of We'll Be Fine, the Ithaca columns will leave, and then we're just left with a blank stage for the beginning of Love in Paradise. In the middle of that song, the island Paradise will come on stage, and we'll see it the first time we see Calypso, and then that will stay till the end of the song, which then will switch to the Mount Olympus set. So there's going to be trees, a big throne. The scrim in the back is going to be parted so you can kind of see the LED screen a little bit better. And there's going to be hanging clouds coming down. The clouds are going to be filled with LEDs so they can look stormier or lighter depending on what Zeus is feeling. So we're in Mount Olympus for God Games, and then we'll move back to Calypso's island for Not Sorry for Loving You. There will also be a raft on stage. It's going to be on wheels so that Odysseus can stand on it and maneuver with a paddle or something. So we'll stay there, and then Calypso's island will leave as we leave Not Sorry for Loving You and go into Dangerous, where Hermes will come down and interact with the raft along with Odysseus. And then we move into Charybdis. I don't know if that's how you actually say it, but there's a ring of spiky rocks on the center of the turntable. The middle and outer rings are going to move, so it seems like a whirlpool around it. At the end of the song, the raft will end up on the upstage side of the rings, and then the rocks will split apart and the raft will come through. So for Get in the Water, we're left with just a raft. Towards the end of it, the raft will actually lift into the sky and go up into the rafters. So that will be fun. So we're just going to be left with an empty stage for the rest of Get in the Water and 600 Strike. At the end of 600 Strike, we move back into Ithaca. This time we're in Penelope's bedroom. So we have the bed with the tree growing out of it. There's going to be a little chair here for her to sit on, and a window will like fly down from the sky. So she is looking out the window during the song. When she sings her challenge in the challenge, the armory door will be rotated on along with all of her suitors. When she finishes her challenge, the suitors will bring on this bench for axes. It's going to have slots in it. So they'll bring on the empty bench, and then the suitors will bring on axes and actually slot them into position for the bench. At the end of the challenge, Penelope and her bedroom will leave, so we're left with this setup for Hold Them Down. After Odysseus kills Antinous and Odysseus starts, the bench will leave. During Odysseus, the outer ring of the turntable will rotate, so the door will rotate all the way until it ends up in this kind of position. Then the door will leave, and we'll be left with an empty Ithaca palace for I Can't Help But Wonder. During that song, Telemachus will go up, and Penelope and the bedroom will come back on, and then we'll be left with this for the majority of Would You Fall in Love With Me Again? Then at the end of the song and the end of the show, Penelope and Odysseus will come down the stairs to the throne, and we'll be left with them. And that is how the show will end. I hope that all made sense. Let me know if it didn't. I'm so glad to be finally done with that. Sorry it took me so long. Kind of forgot that this existed, but we're here now. But now that we're done with that, I can move on to other projects I want to work on with this, which is like animating the stage using like lights and stuff. So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to be uploading videos to YouTube. I just finished the first one. So yeah, this has been a fun time. I'm so excited to finally show you guys.